He doesn't beg, doesn't break, and never forgets. He dances with his demons and smiles, because he didn't just survive the darkness, he became its master.
I dance with my demons and smile, not because I'm proud of them, not because I asked for them, but because I earned them. Every scar they gave me, I turned into armor. Every whisper they slid into my mind, I turned into fire. I've stopped running. I've stopped begging. I've stopped pretending I'm innocent in a world that thrives on guilt. I don't hide the darkness inside me anymore. I walk with it, side by side, like an old friend, because it knows me better than anyone else ever did. Never lied to me. Never promised peace. It only offered truth, raw, bleeding, and without mercy. There was a time I fought it, naively, like a child swinging its shadows on the wall, thinking light alone could save me. I thought love would be enough. I thought purpose would hold me up. I forgot that sometimes purpose burns, and love is a dagger in disguise. I chased it, worshipped it, let it blind me. But all it did was strip me down and leave me bleeding in the dark, with nothing but my demons for company. So I learned, slowly, brutally, I learned that the world doesn't reward the soft. It devours them. It mocks the merciful. It crucifies the faithful. I was not born to beg. I was not crafted for comfort. I was made to endure. I was made to rise when everything else crumbles. I was made to carry pain like a crown. I stopped asking for understanding. I stopped looking for someone to rescue me. No one's coming. I know that now. I look to my right, silence. I look to my left, emptiness. Just me and the storm in my chest. Just me and the chaos in my bones. And somewhere in the back, I hear it. The devil's laughter. Not mocking, not cruel. Just amused, because he knows what I've become. I used to beg for peace. Now I demand war. I want the battle. I crave it, because I know how to survive it. Peace never taught me anything, but pain. Pain sculpted me. It chiseled away the weakness, the softness, the illusion, until only the truth remained. Cold, sharp, unshakable. Why, remember who I was before the fall, before the betrayals, before the world showed me its true face. I was hopeful, I was kind, I was fragile, but that version of me died screaming, and I don't mourn them. I buried them deep. I let the darkness fill the grave, and from that grave, I rose. Not reborn, reforged. I don't have a human heart anymore. Not the kind that breaks. Not the kind that weeps for forgiveness. Mine was ripped from me, crushed, discarded. But instead of falling, I turned into something else. Something colder, sharper, stronger. I don't need sympathy. I don't want mercy. I want the weight. I want the pressure. I want the fire that turns flesh to steel. I know who I am now. I've looked in the mirror and seen what lies behind my eyes. It's not purity. It's not grace. It's hunger. It's rage. It's the will to stand when everything else has shattered. While others sleep, I grind. While others cry, I sharpen. While others pray for a miracle, I become the storm that ends it all. I'm not like them, I never was. They bend, they break, they fade. I rise, again and again. Broken bones, shattered dreams, bloodied hands. I rise, because I am the exception. Because I am the reckoning. I've been to the edge. I've stood on the cliff of oblivion and felt the pull. It called to me sweetly, promised relief, promised silence. But I didn't jump. I smiled. I stepped back. Because I realized I wasn't meant to fall, I was meant to fly. And not the kind of flight that comes from wings. Number the kind that comes from rage, from defiance, from staring into the void and laughing. I am the best version of my bloodline, not the prettiest, not the most praised, but the strongest, the last one standing, the proof that God doesn't need perfect vessels, just relentless ones. I was given grace, but I earned my fire. I was handed a mission, but I built my warpath. I will not apologize for the monster I became, because I was not born in peace. I was born in fire. I didn't choose this path, it chose me. And every time I tried to run, it dragged me back. Every time I tried to soften, it broke me again, until I understood. I'm not meant to escape the darkness. I'm meant to command it. I look at the mirror, and I don't see shame. I see power. I see scars that tell stories of survival. I see eyes that no longer search for acceptance. Only victory. Only vengeance. Only legacy. I don't ask if I'm too far gone. I know I am. But I also know that's where the real power is. In the abyss, in the madness, in the parts of me that were never meant to be tamed. I stopped waiting to be saved. I became the savior I needed. Cold, ruthless, focused. I know the rules of this game. I've mastered every step. I see the traps before they're set. I see the lies before they're spoken. I've trained in silence, suffered in silence, and now I speak in storms. I don't need a spotlight. I am the lightning. And when the world looks at me with fear, with doubt, with disgust, I smile. Because they only fear what they can't control. They only hate what they can't break. And I am unbreakable. I dance with my demons. I take their hand. I match their rhythm. I move to the beat of every battle I've survived. And I smile because I've stopped running. I've stopped hiding. I've become everything I was afraid of. And it feels like freedom.
Why does he look so terrifying?
Because he has returned, not as the man they abandoned, but as something far worse. He has come to reclaim what is his, to settle the debts written in blood and betrayal. This is the end for those who left him in the dark, who thought he would wither and fade into nothing.
He should surrender. He is only one man. He cannot stand against them all.
But they do not understand. He is not the same. It is not he who should fear defeat. It is them.
I was left to rot in the dark. No helping hands, no voices calling my name. Just the cold, just the silence, just the weight of what they did to me, pressing against my chest like a tombstone. They did not just abandon me, they buried me alive. I remember the pain, the kind that does not fade, the kind that does not soften with time. It carved its way into my bones, made a home inside my veins. I became the ruin they wanted me to be. They thought I would break, thought I would shatter into dust and disappear, like I was never here to begin with. But I did not break. I burned. I clawed my way out of the grave they left me in, dragged myself through the dirt and the filth, through the wreckage of the person I used to be. My scars scream my story louder than my voice ever could. My body remembers every wound, every betrayal, every time I was left gasping for air with no one to save me. They thought they were done with me. They thought wrong. I built myself from the ashes, from the pieces they tried to discard. I reforged every broken bone, turned every scar into armor. The darkness they left me in became my home, became my weapon. I am no longer the victim in their story. I am the reckoning they never saw coming. I walk without fear now. The weight of what they did no longer drags me down. It pushes me forward. Every whispered lie, every act of cruelty, every time they left me to suffer alone, it all fuels me. It sharpens me. It reminds me that I am something they never understood, something they could never destroy. I am not weak. I am not forgotten. I am the nightmare they created. They wanted me to disappear, to fade into nothing, to be nothing. But I am here, and I will not be silent. I will not be ignored. I will not be erased. I do not forgive. I do not forget. I rise. I take what is mine. I become everything they feared I would be. The past does not chain me anymore. It drives me. The pain does not weaken me. It strengthens me. And the darkness they left me in, it belongs to me now. And I am never going back. Every step I take is one they swore I'd never make. Every breath I draw is proof that their cruelty was not enough to end me. I am not just surviving. I am thriving, evolving, becoming something they can never touch again. I remember every lesson the dark taught me. How to stand when my legs were shattered. How to see when the world turned black. How to speak when my throat was raw from screaming into the void. I learned that silence is a weapon, and I wield it with precision. They may have set fire to my soul, but I used the flames to forge something indestructible. My will is carved in steel, my purpose honed to a razor's edge. There is no more hesitation, no more second guessing. I have risen beyond their reach, beyond their small and fragile understanding of what I am. I am not like them. I never was. That is why they tried to destroy me. They saw something in me they could never hope to control. Something they feared even as they mocked and belittled it. They knew that if I ever found my way back from the abyss, I would be unstoppable. And now, I am here. I walk with shadows at my back and fire in my blood. I do not stumble. I do not falter. They try to make me a ghost, but I am more alive than ever. They wanted me broken, but I have reforged myself into something they could never comprehend. There is no redemption waiting for them, no absolution for what they have done. The debt they owe me is one that can never be repaid, and I will make sure they remember that. I will make sure they know the weight of their actions, the gravity of their choices. I will not show mercy. Mercy is for the weak, for those who still believe in the goodness of people who have proven themselves to be monsters. I am not one of them anymore. I have moved beyond their petty cruelty, beyond their shallow justifications. They created something beyond their understanding, and now they will face the consequences of their actions. I do not seek peace. I seek justice. I seek balance. I seek the reckoning that they try to run from. And when the time comes, I will be there to deliver it, unshaken, unyielding. I am not the same person they left behind. That version of me is gone, burned away in the fire of their betrayal. What remains is something purer, something stronger, something that cannot be broken. They made me, and now they will face me.
I promise I won't leave you. I can't leave you. You're all I have. You're all I've ever wanted. I love you.
Look at yourself. Look where you stand. Alone, yes, but not broken. You've chosen to walk a path few dare to take. And because of that, the hatred follow you everywhere you go. You've been called arrogant for believing in yourself, cold for choosing your mission over people who would have dragged you down, stubborn for refusing to settle. You've been called selfish, heartless, and every other name that people throw at those they can't control. And yet, here you are, still standing, still moving. You hear the insults in your quiet moments. You feel the isolation when everyone else is laughing in their groups, pretending life is perfect. You see their smiles and wonder if maybe, just maybe, you've made the wrong choice. But stop right there. Look closer. Look past the surface of their grins and celebrations. What do you see? Lies, masks. The ones who claim to love are the first to abandon you when you fall. The ones who call you friend are the first to turn their back when you speak your truth. You've seen it before. You've lived it. You gave your trust to people who claimed to love you, and they left you bleeding. You sacrificed for their approval, and they rewarded you with betrayal. So tell me, was their love worth it? No. You learned the hard way that not all love is pure. Not all smiles are genuine, and not all hands extended to you are meant to pull you up. Some are meant to drag you down. And now, here you stand, unshaken by their hatred. Do you know why? Because you finally learned the truth. It's better to walk in your purpose alone than to wander aimlessly with a crowd. It's better to be hated for being real than loved for being fake. It's better to be feared for your strength than pitied for your weakness. Look at your scars, the battles you fought, the nights you cried in silence, the dreams they laughed at. Those scars are proof that you survived, proof that you chose the harder path, proof that you'd rather walk through fire than kneel to mediocrity. But hate is not your enemy. Love is not your enemy. The real enemy is comfort. The real enemy is the voice that tells you to settle, to give up, to stop trying. Remember the times you tried to fit in. Remember the times you chose to dim your light so others wouldn't feel overshadowed. Remember how miserable you felt pretending to be someone you're not. You gave up on that version of yourself. You buried it, and good riddance. That version of you was weak. That version of you lived for applause, not for purpose. That version of you cared more about being loved than being true. But now, look at who you've become. You stand tall not because of their approval, but because of your conviction. You walk forward not because they cheer for you, but because you have a mission. They'll hate you because they don't understand you. They'll hate you because you remind them of the things they fear, the courage they lack, the dreams they gave up on, the strength they'll never have. Let them hate. Their hate is not your burden. It's their reflection, a mirror of their insecurities and failures. Look around. Do you see who's with you? Not the fake friends who left when you stopped pleasing them. Not the ones who only loved you when you were small and unthreatening. The ones who are still here are the ones who see your worth, not for what you can give them, but for who you are. And even if no one stands with you, know this: you are enough. Your mission is enough. Stop chasing love that costs your soul. Stop seeking approval from people who will never understand your purpose. They'll never see the fire in your heart because they've never had one in theirs. But remember this: they only talk because you're doing something they could never do. Think of the greats who walked before you, the ones who dared to dream, the ones who built empires, broke barriers, and changed the world. They were hated too. They were mocked, shunned, and rejected. But they didn't stop. They didn't fold. And neither will you. Let the hate sharpen you. Let it fuel you. Every insult is a reminder that you're on the right path. Every rejection is proof that you're different. Every loss is a lesson in strength. Now take a moment. Breathe. Look in the mirror. Look into your own eyes. Who do you see? Do you see someone desperate for love? Do you see someone afraid of hate? No. You see a warrior, a fighter, someone who has chosen purpose over popularity, someone who understands that love is not a currency to buy acceptance. You don't need their love. You don't need their approval. The only love you need is the love for yourself and the Creator who made you. The Creator didn't put you on this earth to be everyone's favorite. He didn't gift you strength, vision, and resilience just to see you bow to people's opinions. He gave you a mission, a reason to wake up every morning and fight. So fight. Fight for your purpose. Fight for your dreams. Fight for the legacy you're building. Let the world hate you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them turn their backs on you. But don't you dare turn your back on yourself. You've come too far to quit now. You've endured too much to doubt yourself. Rise again. Walk forward. Head high. Heart strong. The road ahead may be lonely, but it's the road you were born to walk. And one day, when you've reached the peak, when you've accomplished what they said was impossible, they'll look up at you in awe. The ones who hated you will wish they had your strength. The ones who rejected you will wish they had your courage. But by then, it won't matter, because you'll be free. Free from their opinions, free from their hate, free to be who you were always meant to be. So remember this: you are not here to be loved. You are here to be great. Let them hate. Let them doubt. Because at the end of the day, the only approval you need is your own. Now get up.